Hello everyone, welcome to my comprehensive course about hacking. In this lecture, you will learn about network sniping, part 2. MITM attacks. The idea behind a MITM attack is that the attacker places himself in the middle of the communication between a client and a server. Therefore, any communication that is being performed between a client and a server will be captured by the attacker. This figure shows the MITM attacks. ARP Protocol Basics. ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It runs upon the link layer of the OSI model. Its purpose is to resolve an IP address to a MAC address. How ARP works. This figure shows how it works. In this figure, host A with an IP 192.168.1.2 would like to communicate with host B with an IP 192.168.1.3. In order to communicate on a local area, host A would need to have the MAC address of host B. Host A will look inside its ARP cache and see if the entry for host B's IP address is present inside the ARP table. If it is not present, host A will send an ARP broadcast packet to every device on the network asking who has host B's IP address. Once host B receives the ARP request, it will send an ARP reply telling host A, I am host B and here is my MAC address. The MAC address would be then saved inside the ARP table. An ARP cache contains a list of the IP and MAC addresses of every host we have communicated with. ARP attacks. There are two types of attack vectors that could be utilized with ARP. MAC flooding, ARP poisoning or ARP spoofing. MAC flooding. The idea behind a MAC flooding attack is to send a huge amount of ARP replies to a switch, thereby overloading the CAM table of the switch. Once the switch overloads, it goes into hub mode, meaning that it will forward the traffic to every single computer on the network. This attack does not work on every switch. Lots of newer switches have built-in protection against an attack. ARP poisoning. ARP poisoning is a very popular attack and can be used to get in the middle of a communication. This figure shows how ARP poisoning works. This could be achieved by sending fake ARP replies. The ARP protocol would always trust that the reply is coming from the right device. Due to this flaw in its design, it can in no way verify that the ARP reply was sent from the correct device. The way it works is that the attacker would send a spoofed ARP replay to any computer on a network to make it believe that a certain IP is associated with a certain MAC address, thereby poisoning its ARP cache that keeps track of IP to MAC addresses. That is all for this lecture. Thanks for watching.